All right, next question up is a question that comes off of our um, off of one of our monthly training log reviews. So we've got first we're going to be looking at some squats and analyzing these for technical deficiency as well as potential weak range of motion and whatnot. So just kind of wanted to give me and Ross a good look through here, and then we can kind of offer some advice. So first up, um, if I'm looking at these videos, the first thing that I notice is that your stance seems a bit more narrow than would be comfortable. Um, you may want to consider a slightly wider stance. Although I hesitate to make, big sweeping technical changes just based off of, what I'm seeing here. You should take that take it with a grain, I suppose, just because if you've already tried a wider stance and it hasn't worked out for you, or if you're squatting this way because you have FAI or something like that, then obviously don't change it for the worse. But if you've not tried it before, it may be worth a try. It just kind of looks like your feet themselves are a bit uncomfortably narrow. And if I was going to make a technical change, that would be where I would start. And it wouldn't be a big change. It would be, 2 inches on each side or something like that. Other than that, when it comes to weak range of motion, weak muscle groups, well, actually, Ross, do you want to chime in on anything technical or weak muscle group related before I move on?
Um, you know, it's I guess I kind of hesitate because the video quality is a little bit hard
Yeah, you're watching it
to
through
be.
like a double broadcast on the internet, so I can
Yeah.
understand why you'd be hesitant.
Like some points in the video seem like it's fine, and then other points in the video seem like it could be the quality that's
I see.
interfering with the ability to analyze the movement. Um, so it's hard. It's hard. I don't want
Okay.
to make the wrong recommendation.
No, no, that's fine. That's fine. So we're kind of trying to figure this out as we go a little bit too. So that's why that's why you're getting the experimental treatment. But I mean, it looks fine for me. So what I see in terms of weak range of motion is that well, first of all, if you're going to change your stance, then that's going to invalidate the rest of the video. But if you're not going to change the rest of if you're not going to change your stance, then what I see here is that you're you're sliding. First of all, I'm surprised that you're not having any issues with depth, or maybe you are, um, because it seems like you're really at your limit in terms of balance and femur length and ankle mobility and the rest. I think a slightly wider stance is going to help you in terms of depth. Now, I think what you're seeing here, your weak range of motion is going to be at the bottom. You get a little bit of a chest ball pattern, and you can see it. So here's the thing. So like in this video right here, there's not a whole lot of deficiency that shows up, right? That looks really clean. That's a very clean lift. But then in this video where you miss, you can see a little bit of that chest ball pattern creep in there. And I would imagine that if you had a real limit lift and not an RPE 9 lift, that would be a little bit more apparent. And I can see you fighting against it. I can see you fighting to keep your chest up. And so that's a good thing. I think you're on the right track. And with that said, if you're going to keep your stance and everything the same, I don't think you need to change anything in terms of the assistance work in the program. I think you can continue doing pause squats and pin squats, especially pin squats, doing some high bar work, safety bar squats if you've got it. All those are going to be good variations for someone like you. I wouldn't completely get away from the pause squats. So people with really bad chest ball patterns, we usually have other things that we want them to focus on rather than pause squats. Yours isn't quite so pronounced, so I would keep the pause squats in there. In terms of weak muscle groups, again, I don't see any big changes that you need to make in the programming. Focusing on quad development is going to be a big thing. If you have access to a leg press and a hack squat, that's going to be valuable. You can make sure that those are in your program. I would actually avoid some of the single leg work. Not maybe avoid is the wrong word, but I would include some movements like leg press and hack squat and stuff like that as supplemental rather than just the single leg work that you see in a lot of guided programs. So we don't build in leg press and hack squat into the guided programs as they are now because not everybody has access to that equipment. So we don't want to put a lot of things in there that people don't have access to. You seem like you do have access to it, so I would make sure that it's in there for your supplemental quad work. So we're going to break this video here and do your deadlift in a second video.